Assalamu alaikum, dear friends and fellows. How are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. We have been listening. We know that it is the self discipline which get the things done. With the power of this self discipline, we can do a lot. We can create a lot. We can deliver a lot. We can become a far better person. We can achieve so much. So, dear friend, it is the self discipline which is the key, which is much, much more important than any other thing, which is much, much more important than any other thing. So, dear friends and fellows, I think this self discipline is so much important, and if at all it is considered extremely important, then of course we should be using it for the purpose of achieving our goals, how to gear it for the purpose of achieving our objectives. So that is going to be the topic of our today's discussion, and we have given it a title of applying self discipline to reach goals. Yes, applying self discipline to reach goals, it is so much important. Then how self control geared toward constructively achieving our objectives. So that is self control geared towards constructively achieving our objectives. So this is something which must be trying to do, and it empowers us to translate our worthy ambitions into reality instead of leaving them in the dreamland. Instead of leaving them in the dreamland, it empowers us to translate worthy ambitions into reality instead of leaving them in the dreamland. And now the second thing is candidly assessing candidly assessing where we waste our time or avoid discomfort can spotlight areas for self disciplinary improvement. Yes, we need to bring improvement in certain areas, the areas which are going to be put under the spotlight, candidly assessing where we waste our time or avoid discomfort can spotlight areas for self disciplinary improvement. Now the next thing is that is the tactics to build self regulating skill. The tactics to build self regulating skill, including establishing routine, that is very, very important. Tactics to build self-regulating skill, including establishing routines, and now separating tasks into manageable chunks. So that is, and one thing at a one part at a time. If at all any important task has been separated into the nine sub goals, into the sub tasks, in that case, take one. On the one hand, we need to program it, that what steps are needed to achieve my goal, and then enlisting all that. Then we need to rank them. Then we need to prioritize them. Then we need to enlist it in such a manner that first thing first, second thing second, third thing second. What has to be done first of all, what has to be done secondly, what has to be done thirdly, what has to be done fourthly, what has to be done fifthly, and so on. This is also we need to prioritize them. What are the key points out of all that? Having done all three, first of all it is dividing any major task into certain sub goals. That is the number one. Number two, what are the key points out of all that? Number three, then programming it. This thing has to be done first of all, this thing has to be done secondly, this thing has to be done thirdly, and so on. It could be seven, it could be eight things, it could be five, it could be six, it could be any such number. But dividing it, breaking it into the sub tasks, that is extremely important. you know tactics to build self-regulating skills, including establishing routines, separating tasks into manageable chunks, and eliminating distractions. Yes, we need to eliminate the distractions, and we need to focus, we need to concentrate upon our task, and allowing flexibility when creating plans. Yes, we need to allow the flexibility when we are creating the plans. Monitoring progress, monitoring progress using tools like reminders or deadlines. When that is monitoring progress using tasks, you using tools like reminders or deadline. Then forming accountability partnership with friends, forming accountability partnership with a friend. So that is, and tempering harsh self criticism, tempering harsh self criticism if going off course. And then lastly, we need to understand mastering self discipline about progress. Mastering self discipline is about progress over perfection. Mastering self discipline is about progress over perfection. That is something which needs to be done. So, my dear friends and fellows, it is so important applying self discipline to reach our goals. It is so much important that it should not be and must not be ignored at all. Now, how can we do that? Self control geared toward constructively achieving our objectives, self control geared toward continuously achieving our objectives. And now the next is, if it empowers us to translate worthy ambition, it empowers us to translate worthy ambition into reality instead of leaving them in the dreamland. It empowers us to translate worthy ambition into reality instead of leaving them in the dreamland. Now, candidly, after that, number two, candidly assessing where we waste our time or where we avoid the discomfort. Can the two of these things, candidly assessing where we waste our time on the one hand and where we avoid the discomfort on the other hand, can spotlight areas for self disciplinary improvement. Yes, we need to bring the self disciplinary improvement. So, that is so much important. Now, the third thing is tactics to build self-regulating skills. Tactics to build self-regulating skills. Including establishing the routine. That is so much important. Tactics to build self-regulating skills, including establishing routines. Now, separating tasks into manageable chunks, separating important tasks into manageable chunks, eliminating distraction, and allowing flexibility when creating plans. We need to allow the flexibility when we are creating our plans. When also monitoring progress using tools, when we can monitor the progress using the tools like reminders or deadlines. Then next is forming accountability partnership with a friend, forming accountability partnership with a friend, and tempering harsh self criticism. We need to control, minimize, reduce the harsh self criticism if going off course. And lastly, mastering self discipline is about progress over perfection. Yes, nobody can be perfect. It is absolutely impossible to become a perfect person. But whatever is doable is that we can somehow prefer, and we can focus upon the progress, that the improvement is needed. But perfection is absolutely not needed. Those who are looking for the perfection, they don't make any progress, and they keep standing wherever they are standing. So I think it is extremely bad. What needs to be done is that we must be doing one thing, and that one thing is, my dear friend, that we should be looking for the improvement. We should be looking for the disciplinary improvement, and this improvement and progress, this is a far better and far achievable target as compared to the target of what, as compared to the target of perfection, which absolutely and totally does not exist anywhere else at all. Thank you. Jazakallah.